For those that don't know, an e-bike is a bicycle, in this case a mountain bike, that is aided by an electric motor, so that the rider can use the throttle with no physical exertion similar to a motorcycle. The rider can pedal the bike with no assistance, just like a normal bicycle, or the rider can get different levels of assistance, meaning that the electric motor will provide the rider with some help in propelling the bike, but the rider is also working to help propel the bike. I recently picked up a Himiway Cobra and have been so impressed by it I thought I'd make a quick video. Plus, I plan on using it for hunting or at least scouting because it allows you to cover a lot of ground quickly and quietly. Himiway has been making e-bikes since 2017 with the overall goal of extending the range of e-bikes. For instance, this Himiway Cobra has a range of 80 miles on a single charge. There are lots of reasons to get an e-bike, and I wanted one for several reasons. First, and possibly the most obvious, is I'd like to get in a little better shape, and I find riding one an enjoyable way to get a little bit of exercise. I also think I may use it for hunting. Getting to and from the stands, checking game cameras, they're basically silent, making them far quieter than gas-powered vehicles, and they don't emit any fumes, which should equate to scaring less game away. I equipped mine with a removable gun rack that, in combination with the backpack, allows me to carry all the gear I would need. I just got this gun rack on Amazon and it's perfect, does a great job of supporting the rifle, and when you don't need it, all that's left on the bike are the mounts. I also feel there are some advantages to having a mode of transportation like this. Obviously, it doesn't require any gas to run. If needed, it could be charged off a solar pack. Also, it has a range of 80 miles and that can be extended with pedaling. And much like a red dot or an illuminated scope with an etched reticle, if the battery does go dead, you can still use it as a regular bicycle. Please don't think I'm going all green on you or anything like that. I still use my diesel F250 to get my Himiway Cobra places, but like I already pointed out, electric does have some advantages in some situations. And to be honest, one of the main reasons I got a Himiway Cobra is I needed a bike to ride with my little nephew who loves riding bikes. He just turned 6, so mainly he just likes going around in circles in my driveway. He's starting to expand on that a little, but for him, this is just awesome going around in this circle. And if I'm honest, a good amount of the miles on my bike are just going around in that circle. The Cobra features a full suspension, meaning there is a front and rear suspension. That gives you an extremely smooth ride. You have an RST guide front fork and an X-form rear shock with 4-bar linkage. What all that means is this is an extremely smooth bike to ride in combination with its fat 5-inch tires. It is very smooth even going over bumps, and the off-road suspension absorbs all the terrain, giving the rider a very pleasant ride. And on the smoother roads or trails, it basically feels like you're floating on air. It features Tektro hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm rotors that do an impressive job stopping the bike. It also has a Shimano shifter to manage the gears. There's thumb throttle for propulsion without pedaling. I would call it the gas, but there is no gas. In the center is the display screen, and that will provide information like battery life, your speed, mileage, and assistance setting. This controls what assistance setting you're on, basically how much the motor is assisting you while you're pedaling. You can move it up or down with the plus or minus arrows. The power button of course turns the bike on, along with the button that turns the headlight on, and the information button that can cycle through different displays and settings for the bike. So the Himiway Cobra has a 750 watt motor in the rear hub. I don't have a ton of experience with a bunch of other e-bikes, but I can tell you that it seems to have plenty of power. I'm not a small guy, and it has no problem getting me up a steep hill without pedaling. This is a good time to mention that the Cobra has a massive 400-pound payload, so really me coming in at 225 isn't a big deal for the Cobra. Also might be a good time to mention, with that high 400-pound payload, they make trailers that attach to bikes like this, so you could use this to get game out of the woods after a hunt. Not sure I'd go that far, but it would be capable. The Cobra also features a 48-volt, 20-amp-hour Samsung lithium battery, and that is going to provide you with all of the power and the really long extended range that the Cobra features. I keep it on pedal assist level 1 the vast majority of the time that I ride. I am, after all, trying to get a little bit of exercise in, and this just kind of helps you along. It has a torque sensor in the pedals, and based on the amount of force that you use pedaling, the bike uses a similar amount of force to assist, and that amount goes up or down based on the assistance level you have the bike set at. This is a pretty fast bike, and you can achieve some fairly impressive speeds, especially on the higher assist levels. From the factory, the throttle is limited to 25 miles an hour, but you can raise that, and the instructions on how to do that are in the instruction manual, but at least for now, that's fast enough for me. I have been extremely impressed with the performance out of the Himiway Cobra. Its ability to traverse terrain has been amazing, and the capabilities have blown me away and everyone else that has had the chance to ride it. I will say there are some small downsides to consider. If you're trying to propel the bike by yourself with no assistance at all, it can be a little hard. The bike itself weighs about 90 pounds, and while the wide tires provide an amazingly stable and capable ride, you'll also have to overcome their surface area. The battery lasts an extremely long time. I just try to make sure you always have a little juice left, because if you're in a spot like trying to start off up a hill, you'll wish you had at least a little battery power to help you get going. Also, the bike is very large. It's really about the size of a small dirt bike. I'm 6 foot tall and have the seat pretty low. So if you're a shorter person thinking about purchasing this exact model, you may want to try one out first just to make sure it's comfortable for you. But Himiway does have a wide variety of e-bikes to choose from and something to fit every body type. Now, if you've priced similar e-bikes, the Cobra is impressively priced. However, if this is your first time looking at an all-terrain e-bike, you may be in for a bit of a shock. This Cobra is right around $2,300, and I think I can comfortably say that because this isn't a gun. So it's kind of a large purchase. But if you have uses for it and use it, I think it is money well spent. Also, it's far cheaper than any comparable vehicle, and you can spend that much on a mountain bike with no electronic assistance. I am extremely happy with the Himiway Cobra, and I'll know I'll get a ton of use out of it. Nothing better than when you make a purchase that can be fun and functional at the same time. If you're interested in getting your own Cobra or another Himiway bike, there's a link below in the description. And I can do that too because this isn't a gun. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you didn't mind this small diversion away from the normal hardcore gun content, but either way, don't worry, we have a ton of gun content coming up in the very near future, so please stay tuned. If you do like the occasional video like this, let me know in the comments section, and if you don't, I guess let me know in the comments section as well. As always, we have some really big videos in the works that you won't want to miss, and if you want to find out what those videos are way before they hit the YouTube channel, and there you can kind of get a preview of what we have in the works. If you like what you see here and you want to help support Alabama Arsenal, the best possible way to do that is through Patreon. These videos can be surprisingly expensive to make, and every little bit helps and is greatly appreciated. There's Alabama Arsenal gear right below the video if you want to go out and represent. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.